what do you think are going to be the punishments? What do you think the NCAA is going to, like, I guess after it all shakes out and they go back and forth, which is going to be a good 6 months at least, right? I don't know if they'll be able to.
So yeah, I would say the hardest thing for me to predict is going to be how long it's going to take, because, reading online, from what I can tell, after the reply is sent back to the NCAA, usually the infractions committee takes on average 2 to 6 months to make a determination. I would think, since this is a rather large case that they're dealing with, it's going to be on the longer end of that. So we're looking at like July or something probably. And I wanted to make a quick joke about it. So we just found out about this a couple days ago, but do you know when the actual reply was? The Michigan's reply?
Oh, when was it?
It was on January 6th. So people were joking, well, since it was on January 6th, Trump already pardoned those people.
That's awesome.
I was like, that would be perfect.
Been pardoned.
They've already been pardoned. But yeah, so if it was January 6th, the reply was done. We got to wait, probably closer to 6 months, I'm guessing, unless the NCAA is, really has it out for Michigan like they did last time, and they're ready to go, and they just want to do it. But it seems like a lot of times things have been getting released by the NCAA. It's been on very interesting, like the timing has always been interesting, and it's always been in very inopportune times for Michigan when things have been coming out. So I thought that I was wondering when the next time would be really bad for you, like maybe when the spring portal opens or when the spring portal is about to close, would probably be a good guess if I was, working at the NCAA and trying to screw Michigan over. I know it's in the spring. I wonder what the closing date is, because if I were to make a wager, I would say it would be about a week before the spring portal closes is when this is going to happen.
Oh, that would be an gamification move for sure.
Yes.
So what do you think is going to be what do you think it's going to be? Like,
yeah, I mean, my guess of the punishment is one thing, but like I'm concerned that if it is a really bad punishment, which I'm thinking it is, like, is Michigan going to try to file a lawsuit and like make this thing go like multiple years? Like, I wonder how that would, I wonder how long they could delay this if they just, all they wanted to do was delay it for like a couple of years or something. I mean, because
could they do that? I mean, you're the lawyer here.
Yeah, if you have a lot of money and it's a big case, like a lot of times you can just delay things for, I mean, look at, not to get political, but Trump was able to delay everything until after the election pretty much. So nothing could get finished during the presidential campaign.
So you think they could delay this basically until
the NCAA is defunct? Because at this rate, the NCAA might not be around in 2 years because they're losing their power in every way.
Delay it until Bryce Underwood's end of his third year.
NCAA might be gone by the time
question though, like
ruling, but like I was saying, aside from them like doing that and appealing this thing forever, I mean, I've always thought that it was going to be getting a 1 to 2 year bowl ban. I'm leaning towards 2 years, and then definitely 2.5 years of vacated wins. The only question mark is if they're going to actually have the balls to take away the title. Because that's the only one that Michigan's going to care about. You guys could lose 2.5 years of games, you'd be a little upset, but you would say, well, we still got a title out of it, so that you wouldn't really care, would you?
So say that again. So you think there's going to be a postseason ban too?
Yeah, I think 1 to 2 years, but I'm guessing 2, and then 2.5 years of vacated wins, and I'm really pulling for that natty to get vacated because I want to see all the crying people on Twitter, and I have a lot of bookmarks ready for them.
Okay, I think that is such wishful thinking. I would probably be in the same boat if I was wearing your jersey, but I just don't think so. Like, I've been watching a lot of content on YouTube lately, and it's hilarious because you mentioned Ross Dellinger, and I can't remember who else he was talking to. It was 3 guys. I think it was a Yahoo podcast, maybe. But they were all talking about this subject, and they started it off with they called it content stallions, because in the off season now, like, Connor Stalions that has just given everyone who does podcasts, everyone who's in the news business, just like these beautiful gifts of lots and lots of content. They're calling them content stallions. But like they went through all of this, and they're, really raking Michigan under the coals, essentially. But when you got down to it, and at the end of the podcast, and this and plenty of every other one I see, even and Menace to Sports, even they asked Zach, Chris asked Zach, like, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think they're going to get a postseason ban? They all said no, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Literally everyone is basically
I seriously doubt Zach and Chris know anything about the NCAA rules.
No, but that's what everyone's thinking. And that's not, Ross Dellinger even said that. Probably not. And for the reason is it's not like it was back in Tattoo Gate, where, the NCAA had the muscle to be able to just destroy a program. They just don't have it anymore. I mean, you look at the Tennessee situation. 18 level 1 violations. And they even came out and said, really, there needs to be a postseason ban here, but we're not going to do that because we don't want to get into that anymore. We don't want to be the ones doing postseason bans.
Yeah, I would say maybe the vacated wins are more likely than the postseason ban, because the postseason ban is going to take away money from everybody. And, the TV people are not going to want that to happen. So
the TV people, they're spending literally billions, like Fox.
Yeah, so all of those people are not going to want that to happen. And so the cynical side of me would say, okay, then you're not going to have any postseason bans, but then we still can get our pound of flesh by suspending more for half the season and vacating a couple years of wins and then letting them keep the title.
I don't think it'll be half the season. It might be 2 or 3 games. He's probably not coaching against Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, we need to look and see, like, if you're a repeat offender on probation and you get a violation, I'm sure that we can look up, like, what is the punishment for a coach that has that in the past.
I don't think you can look it up. I think the NCAA just gets what they can get. And it looks like Michigan's fighting this tooth and nail.
How many level 1 violations did Harbaugh get for Burgergate?
I don't know. I don't even know. He did other things.
That seemed pretty minor for a 4-year show cause.
Well, he did. Well, that I think there were some other things in there, and that was also the NCAA flexing on someone that wasn't going to have to actually.
So they're flexing then, but they're not going to flex now.
Yeah, I mean,
you're being inconsistent.
Probation, or what does a show cause 4-year show cause do to Harbaugh? Like, literally.
Also the terminology. There's like lack of institutional control is one of the things that you guys are up for. So like that to me is the language of bull ban.
Yeah, but the language 15 years ago was bull ban. But in 2025, that just.
You're cutting out again.
Oh, am I cutting out? My bad.
Yeah, you got to lean forward a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it all just depends on whether I think some people are thinking that the NCAA doesn't have power anymore because they're letting all the NIL stuff go. But that's because that's like the one area where they have zero power. They do still have power in all these other areas.
Yeah. Steve, are you talking about the guys on Yahoo? Because at least from what I saw, maybe I didn't finish the whole thing. I think they maybe said it might be in play, but I think most of them came to the conclusion that it's not likely. I mean, being in play is different than being likely, I would say. But I mean, if you read the tea leaves, there's no way. I don't think the NCAA has the muscle to destroy a program. They just don't. And that's kind of based. That's how I'm reading it too. And Josh Pate even just got up on right before we came on and was saying he didn't even think there was going to be a bowl ban for the same reasons. Like literally everyone that knocks Michigan down for like an entire podcast comes to the conclusion at the end. It's they're probably going to get a fine. Sharon Moore is going to get.
What was his reasoning that he didn't think that there would be a bowl ban?
For the same reason everyone thinks so. It's because
of the money,
of the Big Ten and Fox and everyone literally having so much revenue, and Michigan being
everyone's so cynical.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's cynical. It's just kind of like the day and age we're in. Seriously, 18 level 1 violations for Tennessee and didn't get a postseason ban. So, I mean, that right there tells me that it's probably not happening. But the NCAA is still going to try and get everything they can out of Michigan because they've really got a fur up their ass about Michigan. I think that's based solely on Jim Harbaugh, and now the university is going to have to face the wrath a bit on that.